talking about this like this, but we're all Gators. Hopefully it turns around. A little emotional right now, but go Gators. We'll turn this thing around. And hopefully we'll be cheering. We'll be cheering coming up. But everybody, thank you for your support all season long. But stinks right now. But talking about this like this, but we're all Gators. Hopefully it turns around. A little emotional right now, but go Gators. We'll turn this thing around. And hopefully we'll be cheering. We'll be cheering coming up. But
we'll be cheering real soon, man. We will be cheering real soon. We're back again. We're back up. YouTube has to do its YouTube thing and just censor like crazy and hate free speech in every way. I was watching a slap league. Nobody even watches that shit. Give me a break. I was trying to let people know that there's people getting their hey, close things. How's it going? But yeah, I was watching the slap league. Nobody even knew that slap league existed. Hello, nobody watches that. I was trying to let people know these people were getting knocked out, slapped into another dimension. And you're going to take me down for that. That's laughable. I'll be honest. That one is laughable. Like the Jubilee doesn't make any sense either because they get put back up. But at the end of the day, Jesus Christ, I was watching the slap league. Nobody even knows that fucking happens. Nobody watches that.
Everybody think.
Talk to him, brother.
Talking about this like this, but we're all Gators. Yeah. Hopefully it turns around. A little emotional right now, but go Gators. We'll turn this thing around. And hopefully we'll be cheering. We'll be cheering coming up. But everybody, thank you for your support all season long. But stinks right now. But
shout out
talking
to
about this like this, but
whatever his name.
We're all Gators. Hopefully it turns around. A little emotional right now, but go Gators. We'll turn this thing around.
Go Gators. Go Gators. Listen, that's what we say to you fucking Seminoles fans who are fans of a racist college team. Okay, whatever. Congratulations. You guys have that. Jeez, okay. Most racist one in Florida. At least the Hurricanes, they played it safe. Like Florida Gators. Like, come on, man. The Seminoles, we see past that. We see way past that. When's the last time you guys had somebody from the First Nation that was the fucking horseback fucking chief guy that you have ride around on the field? I'll wait. Goddamn, I know a fucking goddamn Puerto Rican when I see it. I've tagged several times on the on X, Twitter, whatever the fuck it's called today. I tagged the NSAIC. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get something actually going. Let's show some more of how we're representing. Look at this fucking team that I hate. Goddamn, you play on a field and then you turn around and defile it. They get the fuck off the field before we get arrested. This is a crime what we're doing. You did, but he did too because he didn't stop it. You should have taken the turf or whatever, the grass out of their hand, and he should have put that right back where it belonged. Disrespectful. Look at this. This is not even done. Isn't that today's generation? Isn't that just some Florida State Seminoles right there? That's how they're represented. Just like I said, you guys spread the word. Let's get the word out. This is how they're representing the great people that were on this land before these fucking guys came and took it. So just assholes. All around assholes. So that happened this weekend. If you didn't see it, Florida Gators, they lost. They lost to the Florida State Seminoles, and that was it was a tough defeat. I will say, like, going into this next year, I think Billy Napier's job is safe. I mean, obviously they fired in the title two of the defensive coaches, Sean Spencer and Corey Raymond, both got let go. I don't understand why Corey Raymond got let go because, I mean, the secondary wasn't really the problem. You can't really even properly evaluate the secondary when the defensive line was so dog shit. So Sean Spencer made a little bit of sense, as much as it's sad to see somebody who played on the team before go. But the reality is, I understand that has to happen sometimes. Whatever, it's not a good fit. And the defensive line was playing like dog shit. And I'm wondering why Tim Dillon is still on the team. I'm not even going to call him his name, but yeah, defense coordinator / Tim Dillon is still on the team. Makes no sense, brother. Look, listen, because somebody wears a visor doesn't make them qualified to coach. I'm just going to come out and say that. John Gruden. I mean, how many jobs can a guy get? But yeah, at the end of the day, I think that those people are always proven to be problematic. Also, shout out John Gruden. And it makes no sense to me how he kept his job through that. Where they're going to go into this next year, I definitely think that, well, one, also, I don't understand how the offensive line, there could have been a move there. I wonder how they justified, if you're going to make all these like tough moves based off of the performance, which makes sense because you played like dog shit. You had Florida State whooping their ass. I'm even like, look, I understood this was a tough season all around. We beat Tennessee. Okay, let's get on. Let's celebrate the win to Tennessee. But I'm not going to really shit on Tennessee fans because that was a great win from us. And like if we play 9 times out of 10, we probably don't win most of those. I'm a realistic fan in that way. But I'm still obviously, I'm super happy when we beat Tennessee. That was awesome to see from Billy Napier. But you can't just live off that. And I think that the recruiting classes have been pretty good. He's jumped in the transfer portal decent, but like when we see him on, and that's just from like that's pre-college evaluation. So the reality is though, some of those guys have not panned out in a big way. And we just had a lot of bullshit, a lot of fumbles in the from a coaching aspect and from time management to personnel management to being able to just like have a cohesive culture for your program, which already has a culture. So I think to a certain extent, he's been able to lean into that with recruiting really well. But like, yeah, when you see the team sometimes going off the rails on the sidelines and just, you know what I mean? Like, and if you played and stuff like that, you kind of have a good idea of just when you're seeing the body language and stuff like that. And when you're just not seeing the same kind of buy-in at that point. I mean, I'm not a Gator fan that was really harsh on Dan Mullen. Like, honestly, I like Dan Mullen. I feel like there was a vision there. I thought there was a long-term kind of agreement that could have been met in that situation. But so, yeah, I was never really that clear. And maybe I might have missed a story or something like that as to why that was something that had to happen. Maybe he embezzled some fucking money and did some crazy shit and I just didn't see it. Maybe he did some Urban Meyer type shenanigans. They can't have another Urban. Definitely cannot have another Urban. Really, nobody can have another Urban at this point. The Urban Meyers are done in this game, I'm pretty sure. Especially after he shit the bed in Jacksonville. Oh my God, that was one of the worst. And he still got reported on. Like, he got reported on like a player. Like, hey, he's out at the club right now. Or he's out at the bar right now. Just had some like college girl like standing on him. That was wild. Urban Meyer was fucking crazy. And the Florida Gators documentary, and just staying on the Florida Gators, what dog shit propaganda. Like, that's why, honestly, like, documentaries can be tough. That's the closest you get, but even they can get tough because you want the cooperation of the person you're telling the story about. So there's a lot of the times a weird tinge to the story, just a kind of biased nature to it. So but that's even more the case though when you talk about like biopics and stuff like that. But where you end up watching shit and it's like they had like a little bit of a drug problem. It's like, come on now, James Brown, we saw police footage, come on. You know what I mean? So it's like James Brown or whoever, I don't know. There's a million. I think that's pretty consistent with most artist biopics and stuff like that, where you end up getting a really cookie cutter, lame version, really, of the story. It'd be interesting to see people painted a more complex fashion. And once again, to bring that back to the Florida Gators, what I was saying was with the Swamp Kings documentary or whatever it's called. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What absolute bullshit. And also, they really there's a lot of guys on the team that didn't even get the praise that they could have gotten. Really, really super special players at that time. So, that was a very two-dimensional, surface level documentary, and a lot of the crazy bullshit, they didn't really delve deep into that. I mean, that roster was so crazy to think Cam Newton would turn around the next year, go to junior college, and then transfer back to the SEC and go to Auburn and win a Heisman and win a national championship in 1 year. Talk about it. Yeah. So in 1 year, turn that whole franchise around. Then they turned around and they suck ass pretty much now. They're decently. I mean, they're basically. The Florida Gators. So I mean, that's all I can say. Not we're not doing that great. So, but yeah, I think that Billy Napier gets another year, basically with that situation. These guys cutting the fucking grass out the field. You're just dickheads. And then also, by the way, I posted this, I might have said this earlier, but on X or Twitter, I posted this, and then I get a community notes. Elon acting like community notes are some fucking godsend. Usually I like them, but now you're just getting on my nerves with bullshit. So community notes, he's like, they're like, let me go ahead and pull them up actually, because I want to read it exactly. I want to get these community notes right where they're fucking at, you bastards. On this video, on the same video where these kids are cutting the field up, taking grass. I want you to hear the garbage excuse for this. And then I could show you definitely them doing their bullshit celebration, taking a giant spear. This guy's taking a giant spear and planting it on the golf course. Good God. When will someone intervene? When will someone intervene on the Native Americans' behalf? Please, come on. This is not fair for them. This is all about them. All right, so this is about this video right here. So currently rated helpful. Fuck you, not helpful. I'm putting not helpful after I'm done reading this. Since 1962, when FSU wins a road game in which Florida State is the underdog, which they wouldn't have been in this place, a road game at the university, or maybe they would have, I don't know, because they lost their quarterback, but a road game at the University of Florida, ACC championship, or bowl games, captains return with a piece of the opponent's turf to be buried in the sod cemetery. How fucking psycho does that sound? How fucked up is this institute, this public university, has their kids going if they're under? What the fuck are you guys even worried about the odds for? I guess matter of fact, no, you're not able to vote. None of you should even have the app. Literally, it should be illegal for everybody on the team to even have the app. So who gives a fuck about that? And then road game at the University of Florida. So specific to Florida and ACC championship games, which might not be at a person's field. It wouldn't be currently. Maybe back in the day that might have been the case. I don't remember. Or bowl games. So definitely not at a school's. Bro, this is some disrespectful shit. Take these kids away. You know what I mean? If you draft, I'm not gonna say if drafting, but even Trey Benson going over there talking to recruits, fucking fine. They get paid now. Find their ass with the bullshit. When they get on the bullshit, here, you know what I mean? I know you do commercials for fucking Save-A-Lot in Tallahassee, so we're gonna need some of that. Because you're bullshitting. Yeah, no. Also, like I said, me reading that, I don't understand how that makes the action acceptable in any way. You know what I mean? Like the point still stands. That what you're doing is bullshit. Stop doing it. But Florida Gators, at the end of the day, you got to stop them from doing it. We were getting our asses whooped. That's where I got to be honest. If you would have just beat them, which we had them up 12-0 and fucking choked, Billy Napier, you have 1 year, brother. You have 1 year. And I think, honestly, the Tennessee win, if he didn't win that Tennessee game, he's probably gone already. But he won that. Recruiting still been good. And we've had some other really close games, but honestly, the Anthony Richardson fumble was the most disappointing. Like, that was right off the bat, or red flags going off in my mind, because when he was coming in off of Dan Mullen, we were thinking like, oh, okay, Anthony Richardson, this is a year he's supposed to make the big step. We already seen the flashes of him being crazy athlete, just having a crazy arm. Like, yeah, he was just so having Billy Napier coming in there, it was like, oh, he's supposed to get the most out of him, coming from Louisiana. He did not. He didn't look any better than he did the previous year, and he looks better playing against NFL talent than he does, and with NFL talent, than he did playing against SEC competition. So that's wild. With the talent that he had around him at the Florida Gators, which I mean has at least in recent history, the recruits, it's been consistently in the top 10 level of recruiting. But when they get to your school, if you're not developing them, and if you're not getting that kind of production, then it doesn't fucking matter to me at the end of the day. But that is one of the reasons that there's kind of like some faith in him going forward, I think, from a fan base standpoint. And I think for sure he's safe through this recruiting season, and we'll see him next year. But yeah, if it's the same next year, I mean, Dan Mullen got fired after I think one of these, to be honest. Like, and I didn't think so. I'm like, okay, well, that happens one time. That can happen one time while you're building a program. But then at some point we got to have something stable. But yeah, just show me some level of like high return, you know what I mean? Like 10 wins. Show me that. And then if you stumble, I can accept that. That can't be the trend though. Is you stumbling into fucking 6 wins and shit. Not even going 500. What on earth, brother? And there were some games we got our ass torched. Like right now, Missouri is obviously looking like a much better ran program than several of the traditional SEC programs. So that's alarming. Got to turn that around. Can't spend too much time dilly-dallying around. So I think he has 1 more year. And then after that, if it's not something like a 10-win year with a very competitive team, which is tough because, I mean, admittedly, he doesn't have the talent that he had the first year he was there. He didn't do shit with it, though. So admittedly, going into next year, I don't know if I see a team where he has that all-around team. I didn't hate Graham Mertz by any stretch, but there's really nobody on the team that's jumping out as okay. It's just some of the running backs, they might be out, but I'm thinking like Heisman level player, and none of the guys that you have on the team now are even close to that. Going into this next year. Speaking of which, Alabama's quarterback, Jalen Milroe, he was that fucking throw against Auburn. I didn't watch that game. I missed that game because I want to say the Florida game might have been the same time. Or for whatever reason I missed it. But that throw in the back of the end zone, insane. And running off saying, hi, give me the Heisman, give me that motherfucker, all that. Like, one thing I want to say, it's not totally crazy for him to say that, because some of like winning the Heisman, to be honest, is about, and I've since I was a child, I've heard this, is like, what's the Heisman moment? Oh, hell yeah, Paul, brother, what's up? We were talking about you with the last dude that was on here. I don't know if you were on here, but it was a funny conversation on the last stream. Pretty wild. Bring in Mike Loxley. He's done well with Maryland. Interesting to see how he does with real talent. Yeah, facts. But with your guys' quarterback, what do you think about him, Alabama, being in contention for the Heisman? I think, really, when you see when he's played, like, he's performed. I really think he's in that conversation. He's only been held back by, I guess, doubt in his play to a certain extent. Milroe should be Heisman favorite going into next season. Yeah. But I mean, the only takeaway from it really is when he's been pulled from the coaching staff, right? I mean, has the games, I know they have one loss on the season. Was he the starter for that game? I don't remember. Milroe should be, he's 4 times the player he was earlier in the year. Yeah, that's interesting. No, I mean, I like him, to be honest. And going into the season, I remember one of the things that you were saying was that he's going to have more rushing yards than passing yards. I thought that was an interesting prediction to make for a quarterback, but that'd be really incredible to see, like, somebody really adapt that kind of play style. Well, a top program like that, adapt that kind of like heavy run play style with the quarterback, and really utilize that. And I mean, he's I'm actually pulling up the stats right now because I'm curious where everybody ranks. But earlier in the season, I was thinking Michael Penix Jr., but he's really struggled at the end of the season. It would be hard for me to give him the yeah, he started against Texas. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Texas is the loss. That's right. And they benched him for the USF game after that. Yeah, they were not fucking around. Golly. I forgot that college counts sack yards against the court. Okay. Yeah, good point. Let's see but yeah, I was thinking Michael Penix Jr. Initially, if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago, but the back half of the season, he's really struggled against teams that are really teams he should have been having his Heisman moment against. This last game of the season, in-state rival, they're down as far as like they're like a 5-6 team, something like that. Just like Florida State. Florida State should have really made a statement against the Florida Gators, in my opinion. But whatever quarterback I heard the excuses. We already talked about the Gators. But yeah, Michael Penix Jr. I struggle to give it to. Let's pull up what the stats look like. Okay. So Bo Nix actually surprisingly leads in passing yards. Well, I mean, not super surprisingly. He's been going off, and I know in that offense makes it easy for him. A lot of wide open receivers. Okay. Yeah, he's had some ridiculous games towards the end of the season. It's like rushing games against the Gators. Over 100 yards rushing, something like 300 yards passing. Like, guys, look at that. Like, I was doing that to guys on NCAA. Facts. And they gave me the Heisman every time for it. So, but I also never lost a game. What are we even talking about? Yeah, Bo Nix is interesting. Bo Nix is interesting because, I mean, like, what if Bo Nix goes and takes Oregon and they beat Washington at the end of the season? Okay. Yeah, because we had a little bit of a discussion. He's much better than he was. No, you're 100%. Yeah, I remember saying that in a conversation. I guess it was me and you. Because I was shocked because at Auburn, he was terrible. Like at Auburn. And then when he went to Oregon, I was like, that's not going to work. And then I saw, I think last year he was with Oregon. Let me check his stats. I want to make sure I'm not tripping because, I'm a little toasty. But yeah, last year 29-7. I mean, I was pretty much convinced there, but this year he's taken it to an even another level. That's why, honestly, low key, you hear some more chirping about the guy from Oregon being in talks for certain jobs around the country, and being taken really serious. I thought it was really funny because when Chip Kelly left there initially, I feel like a lot of people, and I mean, me too. I mean, it wasn't exciting because Chip Kelly had built a name where his offense was exciting and so on and so forth. But this guy's just been fucking consistent with the recruiting classes, dominating the West Coast. I mean, maybe competing in the West Coast, and I don't know if you would say dominating because there is also USC, but I mean, aside from USC, like there's not really anybody competing with Oregon as far as from a recruiting standpoint. This year he has stopped the rushing a lot, Bo Nix. But matter of fact, let me pull it up on here so y'all can see it. What am I doing? I want to make sure that people can see what we're talking about. So let's go college. But yeah, Michael Penix Jr. I know he's going to be up here, but like I just question whether he's had like a Heisman moment. I think that is a huge thing. I remember RG3 winning, and I mean, I think that was a huge part of that. He just had moments where he won and had games that are like, okay, that feels like a game that we'll basically remember forever. Look at this lady. Okay. All right, yeah, Bo Nix. So Jaden Daniels, 3,800. yards passing. So he's 100 yards behind Bo Nix and probably crushes him in rushing yards because Bo Nix was really down in rushing. Let's check out the running backs in the league. So Ollie Gordon, yeah, I know he's going nuts. Yeah, 20 touchdowns. And I think his last game, maybe it was, he had some crazy amount of receiving yards. But where's Jane Daniels? Here he is. So over 1,000 yards. Jesus criminy. Golly, here it is. Over 1,000 yards and another 10 touchdowns. Fudge. Bo Nix. So, and he's 100 yards behind Bo Nix. That's fucking nuts. And has thrown 3 more touchdowns, 2 more interceptions. Bo Nix, look at that with 5 sacks. This man's only been sacked 5 times on the season. That's fucking wild. 22 sacks. I mean, but completion percentage around the same. Damn, he's only 100 yards behind him, and he's thrown about. He has about 70 less completions, 80 less completions. Interesting. I mean, definitely, I would say Jane Daniels. He has the argument that you gotta beat that argument. That's tough. And I guess really it would have to come down to like a moment leading your team to like the playoffs, which Bo Nix can still do. If he beats Washington, maybe Oregon can make a argument for being the team that slides into that spot. Matter of fact, let's check that out. I want to check the ranking real quick. Scoop. What the fuck? Can't just show me rankings. Come on. Stop the bullshit. All right. So Alabama has Georgia. The ads on ESPN make no sense. Are they using my webcam? Do I need some kind of skin treatment? Is that who uses ESPN? Let me know. Georgia. So yeah, Georgia and Oregon, they're gonna play again. Michigan, I don't know who they have. Who do they have? They have Penn State that they're playing this week. Washington against Oregon. Shoo. Yeah, I mean, if Washington loses that, they're dropping severely. And with the momentum, I've watched the last 2 Washington games from start to finish, and the momentum is not on their side. I even question like maybe Michael Penix is maybe playing through something because his game has struggled so much. So, and if they're in the playoffs just to get their ass stomped. But that would be cool to see. And they'd have Michigan. I mean, who knows? That's the thing. It feels like there's always one game that's like just fucking lopsided, you know? And I mean, not that Washington can't beat Michigan, but I mean, yeah, that just feels like a game where the talent is lopsided. I am more interested in Oregon versus Michigan, or Oregon versus Florida State, Oregon versus Georgia or Alabama. I'm curious. So if one of these teams lose, who do you guys think would be the team to most likely make it in? I mean, it might be a situation where Oregon, and I mean, what happens if Alabama wins? They go in. They have to go in. And Georgia's does Georgia fall out, or does Florida State fall out? I don't know. Florida State's got a game too. Let me check that. ACC, it's got to be a bullshit game. Louisville, probably. Yep. Not a bullshit game. Yeah, they might lose that. Damn, they might lose that. Fuck. Okay. That's okay. So best case scenario probably to have the best product on the field. Florida State fucking loses because they suck and they're fucking racist. So they lose to the mighty Louisville. That could 100% happen. So if they fall out, Ohio State could get in that 4 spot if Oregon loses. But if Oregon loses, then Washington's falling out anyway. So Ohio State, why are they always right here ready to take a fucking playoff spot from somebody? Holy shit. But without playing, okay, so interesting. So this would be my thing. I feel like for the best playoffs, probably Alabama wins. and Alabama jumps Texas and Ohio State to get into, I don't know, whatever spot. I don't know. If you want to say, you could probably ahead of Georgia, because if they beat Georgia, then you probably put them ahead of Georgia now. So Georgia falls to 4, doesn't fall out of the top 4 though. So fucking Ohio State stays their ass out. Because honestly, I feel like Georgia deserves that more than Ohio State does. If they're both 1-win teams and one went to the championship and lost, Georgia stays in top 4. Alabama maybe goes 3 because they're jumping all the way from 8 in this scenario. Who does Texas play? Because they could fuck it up, I guess. What if then I mean, what do you do with the 2 SEC teams? Texas playing Oklahoma State. They could lose, but they probably won't lose. I don't know. That's where it gets complicated, is keeping Texas out. I really don't think keeping Ohio State's that hard. Keeping Ohio State's out of the top 4 is that hard. If Texas wins, I see them jumping Ohio State just based off the merit of being a championship team. Georgia's just really difficult. Do they fall out of the top 4? Me personally, I don't think so. I think Washington falls out of the top 4. Florida State falls out of the top 4. I'm going to say Michigan stays there where they're at, or maybe goes up to 1 if Georgia loses. I don't know how you end up figuring that out, but I guess they would just go to 1 by default. But I don't think they would be the best team in the playoffs. Damn, that's a really interesting. So this is one of the most interesting kind of like top of the we're going back to the comments now, and I see Jaden Spades. I'm lost on this stuff. OSU and Michigan are both getting in. I think fuck no. Ohio State, if Michigan wins, I don't see a reality in which Ohio State should get in over Georgia. But I'm gonna keep reading your comments. You might say that. OSU barely gets smacked when losing to a coachless team. And I'm lost on this stuff for real. We are kind of getting a little in the weeds on like all the movement and stuff like that. So I understand. We're just talking about college football for the record, guys. We're talking about college football, the rankings, the playoffs are about to start. There's 4 teams that can make the playoffs. And so we're coming up on championship week. So these are the last games that will be played before the college playoffs. So we're just kind of like seeing where that might end up landing. So like I said, this is all really a hypothetical conversation because these games haven't been played. So that's why I can understand it being a little bit more difficult to follow. So just let me know if there's anything y'all need clarity on. Bama has no shot, LOL. Pac-12 winner, FSU with no QB. OSU, UGA are the only teams. Why? Those are all negative things that you just said about those teams, except University of Michigan and OSU and UGA are the only teams. Bama and Texas have a rematch in the New Year's Bowl. I mean, that would be pretty cool. That'd be a cool game, but I don't agree with that. I think definitely it's a way better playoff with what if Alabama – does Alabama not play fucking – am I tripping on that? I got to look at the schedule again because now you got me fucked up. Yeah, brother, they're playing Georgia. So, I mean, unless you're saying like literally no shot to beat Georgia. But I mean, they've had some tough games this year. I don't think that's necessarily true. Texas have a rematch. Okay. Why did OSU only go to 6 and not behind Texas? OSU can't lose again before they vote. Yeah, but people can leapfrog them is what I'm saying. Like if Alabama beats Georgia, the number 1 team in the country, there's no way they don't at least jump Ohio State, who's not even playing. And then we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Like Florida State, I think they could lose. I do think Florida State has to lose. I mean, to your point, they have no quarterback. So it's kind of, that's the way I feel about Washington with how they're playing right now. It's like for them to be in the playoffs, not that, I mean, TCU won a game, but it did kind of feel a little bit like a waste having TCU in the playoffs when it's like, let's see. Because the voters don't care about the best teams, FSU deserves it because they're undefeated. Is their bullshit? I don't know that they're going to be undefeated, though, is my point. Like, Louisville can beat them. Louisville smacked Notre Dame. I know we don't respect Notre Dame. I do, but I'm saying, like, you know, let's see. Bama wins and OSU goes in with FSU, Pac-12. Yeah, the Pac-12 winner, I agree with. I think if Washington wins, for example, you have no argument to even keep them out, even if Oregon might be the better team, maybe. But I think definitely a great chance Oregon wins. So Oregon jumps in there. I think FSU, and I see you saying right here, they're playing Louisville. They won't lose. I don't know about that. I think that's a game tune in for. They can win. I think Louisville's only lost one game this year. I could be wrong. Oh, 2 games. So what'd they do this year? Oh yeah, they fucking smacked Notre Dame 33-20. Let's see, they beat Duke 23-0. They lost to Pitt 38-21. So that's not a good loss. And then they lost to Kentucky. I mean, 38-31. They beat Miami 38-31. Hung 56 on Boston College. I mean, they're not playing great, but still. Interesting. I mean, and then Florida State, it's just what Florida State's dealing with right now. If they had Jordan Travis, then I'd obviously feel different. And I'd feel great about them even being in the championship. I mean, in the playoffs, I would want that because I would feel like they really would have a great chance to make it competitive. But right now, I just don't feel like that after seeing what they did to the Gators. They're definitely, but that'll be interesting in its own right. I'll tune in. It'll be interesting seeing them manage the quarterback issues that they're having right now, and maybe he'll come out of his shell a little bit and look a little bit better. But he looked like dog shit against the Gators. He really couldn't do shit until the fourth quarter. Then he started dicing us up a little bit, but mentally the team was completely fractured at that point. We knew what it was. We knew it was time to pack it in. Ohio State, it would be a shame if they made it. Honestly, it would. That's the biggest thing. If Michigan would have to lose, in my opinion, for Ohio State to find a way in there. So Michigan would have to lose to, God damn, I could not remember any of these fucking games. Iowa, okay, yeah. Michigan has to lose to Iowa, which, I mean, look, anything can happen. Any Saturday, a team could take a loss and they could lose. But I feel confident that Michigan's going to win. That's the team that's currently in the playoffs that I feel the most confident they're going to lock in their position in the playoffs. But I think there's a potential scenario where we see at least Washington and Florida State get replaced, so half of them. And then Georgia, even if they lose, I'd like to see them there. So if it's a situation where Bama beats them, and Paul, you were talking about a rematch against Texas. I mean, a rematch, Georgia versus Alabama would be very interesting between I guess it wouldn't be because, I mean, not that it would be interesting, but I guess Alabama's not going to jump to 1. So if they jumped anywhere, it would be like 4 or 3. So they're going to play either Michigan or probably the Pac-12 team. So interesting. Well, either way, college football, good stuff. Let's check out your guys' comments. Michigan by 4. Oh God, I skipped a little bit to the end, but geez, I love that. That's big blue energy, man. Nobody wants 2 SEC teams, especially, but we've had to. It's definitely happened, and it's because just sometimes the SEC is the best conference in the fucking country. We just know what it is, right? Like, I think even people that don't agree with that, listen in your heart. Look at the fucking the amount of players that they end up going to the league. The only conference that could probably compete would be the Big Ten, I guess. But come on, but not even. But we will see. I have no faith in these voters. Yeah, I mean, I hear you on that. What would be your ideal top 4 teams if, like, you had to project what would happen and who you would personally like to see there if you thought the voters weren't being biased in some way? Iowa can't be. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, I've been shocked by some Michigan performances before. That's one of my knocks on Jim Harbaugh is sometimes his teams just come out like looking completely undisciplined, flat, mainly, even more than undisciplined, and in big games. Michigan by 40. Yeah, I mean, I think that they lock in though. SEC fatigue by the voters. That's possible. That's possible, and I definitely feel like that's a thing with the fan bases. But also, I have to take into consideration that fan bases are fans of like other teams that are part of, other conferences. And if they feel like there's some kind of bias being given to the SEC and they're being treated as better than, then I think people push against that just based off that, just to push against that. Because of the notion. I can only hope that the voters share your sentiment into wanting the best team. That's definitely where I'm at. I want to see the best teams in the most epic games. Like, just going, do I still have that up here? Yeah. Just going back to that. Like, I mean, just imagining some of these games would be incredible. Michigan versus, like, if you say Alabama just gets 4 and doesn't bunny hop even Georgia, and Georgia drops to 4. But either way, think one of those teams are in 4. That would be Georgia or Alabama versus Michigan. That's a fucking nuts game. Right now it would be Michigan versus Washington. That's fucking what? And then if Oregon gets in there, then you're talking about if Michigan got those other two, then the other team. So Oregon versus Georgia or Alabama. Like, that's a clash of play styles, if ever. And Oregon's had these opportunities where they've gotten to compete against SEC talent, and a lot of times came up really small. But this team, especially with Bo Nix, what a great opportunity and like storyline to dig into with Bo Nix coming back, facing SEC competition, looking completely different, maybe winning a national championship. Who knows? I wouldn't count Oregon out of that. And then Texas, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like the idea of Ohio State getting to sneak in based off just sitting home. Just sitting home. Let's see. I mean, so they beat Notre Dame, Penn State. Those would be their 2 big wins. No other ranked opponents. So Notre Dame was ranked 9th when they beat them. They put up 17 points. I just have a lot of in the forefront of my mind. I'm thinking of Ohio State coming up small a lot this year. Penn State, I don't think I saw the Penn State game. I definitely watched Notre Dame. Let's see. I watched the Maryland game, and that might have been the only games that I watched like in their entirety. But definitely saw some of this Rutgers game. I remember peeping on that. And the Michigan State, I mean, they stomped Michigan State's ass. But they were confused. They thought that was Michigan, I guess. They thought it was Big Blue, and then they got beat 30-24. That's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, if Ohio State makes it, they're a good team. I can't really hate on that. They're a great program. From like player to player, they can compete with anybody, so it makes sense them being there. It's just that's one of the reasons I don't get excited for a team like Washington, especially when they're trending downwards. And like, I don't think that they typically would have the horses, and it's not like they have the momentum really on their side, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and get into some more reactions real quick, and because I can sit here and kick it with y'all, and Paul, we can vibe and talk about this college football stuff all day long. Majority Report, I think I told you about this, Paul, so I guess I get to introduce you a little bit to this while you're here with us. I appreciate you staying as long as you can. By the way, I can send you a link or whatever if you want. Well, here, even I can go ahead and if you want, no pressure, but I'll throw that in here just for anybody that wants to hop on and vibe if you want. Otherwise, just enjoy kicking it. Oh, that was on Twitch. Oh shit. All right, well, never mind. I might not be able to get it to you because you let me know if you see that in the comments. Okay, now I see it. Oh, okay, you're all good. Yeah, enjoy Survivor, man. But this is the Majority Report. Majority Report, he's having a debate here with Dennis Prager. If you guys are familiar, I'm based in Florida, and some of our kids down here, we get taught PragerU, which is in no way brainwashing in any form or indoctrinating in any form. It's just good education. So he's debating him, and we're going to see how that conversation goes. And make sure you subscribe, show some love. Sit in politics. We're in here, baby.
Important message.
What?
We're going to be on conference call with maybe Prager. How much time do we got? Hello? Is this Ron Reagan?
Yeah, we're on in a minute. We're on in about a minute.
On the Salem Radio Network. Returns from break in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
This is a great birthday gift. Thank you, Reagan.
You want me to just go right into it?
I told him that my son is in college and he's attended college Israel protest. It's really upsetting.
Okay. Gotcha.
And my name is Ron. I'll just let you be Ron.
Okay.
You want me to do it like last time?
Yeah. Let's do it this way.
The Dennis Prager
I'm
Show
just gonna mute my
on the
microphone.
Salem Radio Network returns from break in 45 seconds.
Happy birthday, you big idiot.
Oh, thank you. It's a good birthday present.
This is the most disorganized.
What has happened to the Democrats?
This is what the his viewers, do they listen to this before he goes live? Because if this isn't brainwashing, I'm sorry. I know I'm flipping the script, but this is what I meant the whole time. If this isn't brainwashing, literally on the in the background of the audio, what's happened with Democrats today? Are they trying to kill your kids? Like, what the? Dennis Prager's wild. I'm very interested here. I don't know what they're going to debate, to be honest. I guess they just hop on the phone and disagree on everything.
The Dennis Prager Show on the Salem Radio Network returns from break.
1-8-PRAGER 776-877-243-7776. Albany, Oregon. Ron, hello.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks so much for taking my call. I think I told your screener that my kid is in college and there are protests going on there. And needless to say, Thanksgiving was a little bit rough.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, so this is the Majority Report. If I'm understanding the flow now, I'm with the joke. So they're calling in, faking, had somebody else like fake as if they were calling in, pass the phone off to Sam here, the host of the Majority Report, and he's going on with a lie. So that makes sense why there was people like whispering underneath the horrible fucking music that was playing. This crap went on with 90% of it Prager commercial breaks. Okay.
Go on.
Well, my child, I don't want to say the college that they go to because I don't want them to be chased down or anything. But my concern is that my son doesn't appreciate what's going on in Israel at all and doesn't understand what the dynamics are there. And it is increasingly a problem is what's going on these campuses.
That's right.
Anti-Semitism is a problem in this country. It is rising. I'm not sure if I subscribe totally to the idea that it's a function of secularism because, obviously the Spanish Inquisition, we had a lot of anti-Semitism that existed before any type of secular movement.
In the United States it is. I make it clear in the column. You're right. American Christianity was totally different from European Christianity.
But I mean,
this was a Judeo-Christianity. It was pro-Jewish. That's why I read to you John Adams, who was a committed Christian.
Well, that's true.
That Jefferson and Jefferson, go on.
Well, I can tell you that. I mean, just when my parents and my grandparents came over in the 1800s.
Yeah, anything treacherous just makes her very excited. She's loving this.
They had to change their name. They couldn't get insurance. This was not a function, and they were very pious.
Oh, so you're Jewish. Okay, that's interesting. So the fact is, however, that you're right, compared to a truly perfect society, it was a failure. Compared to every other society, why did they flee their society and come to America? If you would have asked your grandparents, are you happy you came to America, even though it was harder to get insurance? They probably would have laughed at you.
Oh, well, no, of course. They left because of pogroms, but they weren't secular in Russia at that time or Lithuania.
No,
or
you're right.
Vilnius
I've said all of my life to American Jews, my fellow Jews, that the European Christianity was not the same as American Christianity. These are the Christians that put Torah script on the Liberty Bell.
Right.
That had you study Hebrew, that said the greatest contributions were made by Jews, like I read to you from John Adams. This was a different country. This was a different form of Christianity.
Well, I agree. You have someone like John Hagee speaking at the rally for Israel, I think was frankly an abomination. I mean, I wasn't for John Hagee speaking there. He has a record.
I was.
Well, even John McCain.
I thought it was a great choice. I know him very well. Back in a moment.
Okay.
This is how you get done if you're a caller. You just like make as many points as you can. He's like, all right, one more time.
The Dennis Prager Show returns in 5 seconds.
You do your thing, and you do it well.
Nice try. Just you can get off the phone.
Relief Factor has a new product.
Ad?
And it's called Sleep. And guess what it does?
He read a live ad over this guy.
I'll give you a moment here to think about it. Sean is baffled. It's fascinating. Sean, I don't understand. It's sleep. Sleep. Hello, sleep. Folks, a lot of you have problems falling asleep or staying asleep. My heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
It's not a problem I've ever had. I'm very lucky, and I know it.
This
If
guy's
you
lucky.
need to, this is a great product. On occasion that I have taken it, like, for example, when I went to London and I wanted to sleep on the plane, this thing is fantastic. Anything Relief Factor
He's doing a
does,
live
I'm a
read
big fan of.
in the middle of this conversation. It's wild.
If you need to sleep or stay asleep, try it. Go to relieffactor.com and order sleep for restorative, regenerative sleep. Relieffactor.com. So my column this week is essentially...
Oh my God, did you forget he was on the phone?
That when America was more Christian, Jews were more secure. So there are two issues with my caller. This is a really important call. You called because I have a lot of thoughts on what you're saying. So this is...
It's interesting he's calling undercover though, because he probably has the option. Like that call probably could have got it ended before this ad break, but because it spurred some kind of conversation that he wanted to continue to have, I think he probably kept him on through the ad break. Probably just observing how the process is going. I told you Prager ads galore. Yeah, that was insane. The only way you're going to get that experience though, so it's kind of cool they did it undercover, because if this would have been like a planned out YouTube video, they would have obviously not had that. So interesting. Ad nausea. Yeah. I mean, I guess they can't blow their cover. I mean, mute your mic. They should be killing these ads right now. He's going crazy.
Ron in Oregon.
Anti-ads.
And there are two issues. One is that his son... This is a Jewish family, and his son has been participating in anti-Israel protests at his college. And the other is that he doesn't fully agree with me because, look at all the anti-Semitism in Europe, which was done by Christians, and he's absolutely right. But as I've said all of my life, American Christianity was not European Christianity, and Jews... The best place Jews have ever lived outside of their own land has been the United States of America. So your last comment was that you were distressed that at the rally in Washington for Israel, they had Pastor Hagee speak, correct?
Yes, that's right. I mean, I never totally agreed with John McCain about all things, but when he distanced himself in 2008 from Hagee, I thought that was the right thing to do.
And the reason?
Well, I don't think the idea that, and this is what Hagee believes, obviously not what I believe, or I would imagine not what you believe, is that Hitler was sent by God to push Jews to Israel. And I mean, I understand the Christian prophecy that we as Jews are a part of that, but not necessarily in the best way. But I guess my biggest concern is we just had the greatest attack on Jews since the Holocaust take place. And I look at Israel as a place that was founded, at least in part, to protect Jews. And I think that after 75 years, what we're looking at is a situation where that project has failed. And I think in part it's failed because of the way that Israel has gone about it.
Okay, so we now entered a third arena. They're all related.
Exactly.
Let me just say this about John Hagee. First of all, I never, ever judge people on the basis of their beliefs. I'm sure you're annoyed when Christians think you're going to hell because you don't believe in Christ. So why are you annoyed with John Hagee for his religious beliefs? If indeed that's what he said, I have reviewed it. It's not fully clear to me, but let's say he said,
if your religious beliefs inform some like horrible, inhumane, like practical belief that you have in the world, then I have a feeling about that. Obviously.
That God sent Hitler. My father, who was an Orthodox Jew and fought Hitler in the U.S. Navy for 3 years, believed that God sent Hitler because he couldn't believe that the Holocaust just happened and God watched it. There are a lot of Jews.
Yes, but that is
okay. So fine. So what exactly? How remarkably different was my father's view? I don't agree with my father, but it doesn't matter.
Why don't you agree? I'm curious as to why he doesn't agree. Like
I said, I judge beliefs, but I don't judge people by their beliefs.
Okay.
So John Hagee has been one of the most pro-Jewish, pro-Israel figures in American life. He has founded the largest organization of Christians. It is the CUFI, Christians United for Israel.
I know that. But Dennis, that actually relates to my other point.
Good?
Because I do think that intent. I do think intent is important here. So it is true that that Israel has a lot of support from CUFI and other Christian Zionists, but they want the Jews there so that they go through hellfire. And I also know that the Netanyahu.
That's not true.
The Netanyahu.
That isn't true. I know
that is exactly the prophecy that Hagee is talking about. And,
no.
And I will also say this: with Netanyahu, with Netanyahu, also making common cause with
yes, because he's making common cause because the greatest support in America for his country is coming from Christian Zionists.
Well, but I think that's problematic in the end.
Cause with them?
Well, I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain because I think what it breeds
is
a type of singular nationalism in Israel, which has left Jews unsafe.
Add hell.
The road that could have been taken with Zionists, we know that there was a strand of Zionist thought. Not Israel. I'm saying certain elements within Israel, because we know there was Zionist thought starting in the late 1800s into the early 1900s, where the idea of a multi-ethnic, multi-religious democracy could have taken hold. Folks like Buber and Hannah Arendt espouses.
Well,
instead, we have a fascist.
Don't be shocked at your child.
Yeah, no, that's what happens, man. You come on the man's show talking fucking crazy, trying to hit him with fucking crazy ass facts. He hits you with a fucking pharmaceutical commercial.
Has taken your ideas to their conclusion.
Oh, Dennis. It's weird that you had to cut me off.
Is that his sign off? Like, did he? Is that just the ad? Is he going to bring him back, or did he say like, "All right, get the fuck out of here"? Does he have an outro? Like, hey, thank you for. Yeah, I was nowhere to be found on the skip button. Damn, they might have they might have sent him packing. Cedar said they want the Jews to go through hellfire. Insane. It's another terrible ad.
Dennis Prager Show.
I'm just going to hang out to the music for a while, if you don't mind.
Return from break in 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
I don't know. I think he might be done with me.
Yeah.
I get the sense he was. He definitely cut me off.
Should we hang on the line to see if he comes back to you?
I don't know.
What's that?
It's up to you. I'm just working.
Because you're not having real conversations.
The Dennis Prager Show on the Salem Radio Network returns from break in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
You got more runway than you thought you might.
I definitely did. Yeah, I really greased that runway, though, didn't I?
Oh, you did such a good job with
Ronald Reagan. I really appreciate the birthday gift.
Being obtuse about the what your son.
Oh, we're gonna stay.
Did I kill you guys to get some hold music like this?
Is it bagpipes?
That's what it means to be a mighty man of
What do you
valor.
got to do to make that happen?
On the Salem Radio Network returns from break in 1 minute and 45 seconds.
All right, well, we're going to hang on for the 1 minute 45 seconds. Do you have clients in your office right now, Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, but they don't speak English, so they don't really know what's going on.
You got the Japanese flute with the fucking Irish back.
I told them I'm calling immigration to check on this case.
The Dennis Prager Show on the Salem Radio Network returns from break in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Well, this guy's ripping his fiddle.
Hey.
Whoopsie.
The Dennis Prager Show.
Try to
on
encourage
Salem
people
Radio
to
Network.
post and try
Returns from
to,
break in 45 seconds.
help them if I can.
He broke out the
What has
encyclopedia.
happened to the Democrats?
The Dennis Prager Show on the Salem Radio
Prager is
Network
doing research.
returns from break in 15 seconds. The Dennis Prager Show returns in 5 seconds.
Is this it? That's good.
Go to relieffactor.com. Read what people have written about this
This guy's a fucking master at
product,
work.
which
How's he
relieves
keep it all
pain in
together?
muscles and joints.
Oh, Dennis Prager's
I
the
know it,
man.
I endorse it. I use it. The
Listen,
Living Martyr uses it. My wife uses it. In fact, my wife used it before I ever heard of it. That's why I actually
White woman.
agreed to even promote it years ago, because she told me, oh,
She's a
it's
genius.
fantastic for her knee pain.
Yeah.
It's so good, she sometimes forgets to take it, and then she
Does
doesn't take it,
remember
and
when
the
you
knee
hurt.
pain comes back. Try it for 3 weeks. Doesn't work in 3 weeks.
Dennis Prager, you're the fucking man. I gotta give it to you, dude. Like how you flow into these ads. If this was 60 years ago, he would have been Mad Men.
The bakers say you should cancel your order because it probably won't work for you if it
You
doesn't
think
work.
you're watching the show? You're watching a commercial.
Go to relieffactor.com, $19.95 for 3 weeks. That's it. You should definitely try it.
Oh my God.
Relieffactor.com, 800-500-8384.
Why do you talk like this?
Okay, so just a final word here. I rarely keep somebody on so long, but I thought that they're valuable. So I just want to say, and this is
She touchdown celebrated. That's crazy.
God knows, I thank you for your call and your openness.
Thank you.
But with your views with regard to Israel,
Dangerous.
It's not shocking that your son would have participated in anti-Israel demonstrations at college.
Well,
I know you wouldn't, and I fully appreciate that, but he didn't come from a home that made peace with Israel as a national Jewish project.
Well, I think that's
Your son picked up what you were putting down, is what he's saying.
not. I don't think that's true. Actually, I mean, my certainly much of my Hebrew school, and I at that point was more conservative than Orthodox. but much of my Hebrew schooling was oriented towards Israel, and many of my
God spoke to him, and you are not on the right path, son.
teachers were
but
were
that's
former
irrelevant. It's your views.
Well,
look, you said.
But all I'm saying is I'm looking at this as a practical matter, though, Dennis, because as a practical matter, if the part of the Zionist project is to provide a safe home for Jews, I mean, and surely you know this as well, we have Israelis now who are in bomb shelters 4 times a day, and that it has not worked. The peace and security for Jews as a single ethno-national state has.
If I was his producer right now, I'd be in his ear. Let's get to the next ad, brother. Just get to the next ad. Let's go. Money break.
Not worked.
So therefore, you believe Jews would be more secure if there weren't a Jewish state and it was just a Jewish and Muslim state.
And Christian. I mean, I think
but there are so few Christians there. Okay,
well, yes, yes, of course, it's academic.
You believe Jews would be more secure with majority Arab rule?
I think absolutely a multi-ethnic society could be set up. I mean, listen, this is the same thing that people said about South Africa.
Look, I got to leave it at that because we've talked so long.
Okay. Well, Dennis, I really appreciate you having this conversation with me.
The listener decide.
Thank you.
But I think you need to be honest with yourself. If you believe that.
I am being honest with.
Hold on, that was interesting. So instead of talking over him, he decided to talk very quietly. So if you wanted to hear what he was saying to him, he had to stop talking. Interesting.
The Zionist project is a failure. It is not that surprising that your son would have demonstrated against Israel on his campus.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't characterize the demonstration
St. Petersburg, Florida. Corey, hello.
All right.
Yes, hello, Dennis. Since October 7th, I've been to 4 or 5 Catholic churches for Sunday Mass.
All right, hold on.
And not one time has the priest mentioned in his homily.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I guess, he left. All right.
Reagan hung up.
We got the held over 2 commercial breaks.
I mean,
I thought he was taking commercials.
I got news for you, folks. You got to really know. Like I did too.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell. Even when he was talking, sometimes it was in his commercial voice. So there was a few times I was confused at the end where he was still talking to this guy Sam, and I thought it had went to a commercial or something. Or he was done talking to him. He sent him to commercial.
I can't believe you got on that long. And you've spoken to him before, right? Like he supposedly knows your voice.
Well, I mean, I don't.
You got on for like a second the one time, and he
hung up immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I mean, it was nice to be able to reach his audience, and you know, I don't think I went super hard, but to have that long of a time. I feel bad now because my son's not in college.
Yeah.
He's in elementary school.
And your name is not Ron.
And my name is not Ron.
And no wonder. Sam.
But Ron is one of my nicknames.
But, you know, if Dennis wants to avoid this kind of deception, he can just come on the Majority Report and debate Sam long form without those kinds of obstacles.
Wow. I'll tell you something. There was 12 minutes.
Being a person in this like political sphere, do you feel like they have the right to dodge a debate if they don't want to debate somebody? Because this is something I've heard a few times. Like, do you have to hop on and like assault them with a debate on the phone under a fake alias? I mean, if somebody doesn't want to debate you, do they have the right to do that if they're like in the place of like, you know, discussing public opinions and things of that nature? I don't know. I'm curious what you think, Jada Spades. Anybody else out there that's watching, you want to hop in the comments, let me know what you feel. With this conversation, that's one thing that comes from that, because I remember watching there was a man on the street video where they were doing interviews on the street, and the guy was acting like he was like pro people transitioning, I think. And he was like, "Oh, hey, here's a petition I have to like get kids to transition that are without their parents' consent or something like that if they're 13 or older or something crazy." So he was walking around as if that was his position that he's holding, getting people to sign it as like a gotcha. So I mean, with this, it's not quite that, but it is definitely still you're holding kind of like a dishonest debate a little bit, because he's not even like Sam's not even like representing his own position really. When you have open phones, you get what you get. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, that is literally how it goes. So, but still, I guess you just have to have that discernment all day long. You have to be like, somebody that hates me might call in and try to have a secret debate with me. But some of these guys, like with the Sam Crowder, Sam Cedar debate, it wasn't quite like that. That was more of like a closed debate. So, I mean, how do you feel in that scenario? Because I'm saying he's done it a few times. I don't know. The thing where I try to like justify that a little bit is in reason with it is just that these are all people that deal loudly in the public space with ideas, social ideas and things like that, and a lot of times it makes sense. They directly contrast his ideas, so him wanting to engage in that I think is a good thing and bodes well for his point of view. But I do just wonder if like doing it undercover, like, but I don't know if we want to treat things like the internet and why, like, for example, you shouldn't have to pay for certain internet speed and stuff like that when you had like the SOPA law try to pass several years ago and things of that nature, is because it is really important if we're using this as like one of our main forms of communication that everybody has access to it within reason. And it is, you know, relatively easy to gain access to the internet. So I don't know. That's interesting. Majority Report, check them out. Sam Cedar. I like some of the discussions they have over there as far as like Dennis Prager. I mean, I don't know how much better I would expect Dennis Prager to like represent his ideas if he was prepared to do so. I've seen him on debate with other people, and you know, it just is what it is. With Dennis Prager, you get what you get. So his ideas are what they are. So he does just kind of like represent them. He represents them as if they're reasonable. And at least, you know, from my perspective, that, you know, most of the times that's not the case. But you know, he lays them out there. You know, it's not hard to find how he feels about things, and it's usually not hard to guess how he's going to feel about something in the future based off how he felt about, you know, everything else. So, you know, super, he's very conservative as you get. Let's see here. Let's check our battery. Okay. I got a few more videos, so I got to figure out what exactly I want to play, because I'm not going to be able to do all of them because of the battery, but I got a little while I can still rock. So let's do as much of this as we can.
Yeah, my name is Dennis.
So look, this is San Francisco. I don't know if you guys saw recently, but fucking China came and visited San Francisco and they cleaned it up. This has been a little bit of a story in the news as far as like, why is San Francisco capable of cleaning up so quickly? The issue of San Francisco has been well publicized as far as like this crime and the like mass thefts, I guess. I mean, what is that called? The flash mobs where they run in there and just start stealing shit. The looting without a natural disaster or something happening just for doing it. Is that the difference? I don't know. But either way, we know if you know, they've been having issues with that in San Francisco. So Channel 5, who we've watched here before, Channel 5 News, with fucking Andrew fucking something or other. Shout out to him. Yeah, they get out there and they get into it. They went to San Francisco. I don't know exactly what all they're gonna explore here. That's just the stuff that I know off the top of my head as far as like what's been an issue in San Francisco recently. So I mean, honestly, it doesn't look like the streets are that clean. So maybe this isn't. This might have been before, for real.
I've been doing fentanyl for some years now, for about 3, 4 years, 5 years here in San Francisco. It's an unseen thing, like unseen force that's taking over Frisco, I think. Everybody on hype, on Fetty, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing Fetty. It's the fad now.
Damn, they call fentanyl Fetty.
Do you use any of the harm reduction services they offer out here?
Yeah, I use them. I use them to get what I need, get my foil, get my tutors, get my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Have you tried to get clean before?
Nah, I haven't. I haven't tried to get clean.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out on camera, a carjacking in San
Bro, no, in the Bay, they ghost ride the whip. That's what that is. I've seen that 1,000 times. Ghost ride the whip.
Francisco in broad daylight. Why is that Prius speeding away backwards? A group doing interviews for a web show saw a food delivery driver pull up to a restaurant to pick up a pizza. The driver left his car running. Someone hopped in and sped off backwards.
They thought he already had the pizza. They fucked up. That's probably why they abandoned it.
And just like that, within 90 seconds of being in San Francisco, I witnessed open-air fentanyl use, a carjacking, and ended up on the nightly news.
Hello, my name is Andrew Keller, and you're about to watch our documentary, San Francisco Streets, our most in-depth project yet, which explores a variety of issues, such as homelessness, shoplifting, gentrification, harm reduction, city history, zoning laws, fentanyl, and so forth. We're going to be talking to cops, drug dealers, local vigilantes, professional shoplifters, harm reduction, pimps, and yeah. Some of the footage ahead may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, back to the streets.
The victim yelled.
Hey, you heard what the man said, and for a second time, viewer discretion is advised. If you're fucking not ready to see some crazy shit, click off this video. Just kidding. But you know, it's about to go down. Be ready for whatever's going down. We're going on the journey together.
Yelling for help as a YouTuber tries to interview.
Hey, dangerous.
That guy just went in and grabbed a DoorDash order, and then he ran out when he saw his car get jacked. It happens that fast.
Thankfully, the delivery driver's Prius was found a few blocks away 30 minutes later.
Minutes later, officers arrested 52-year-old Kira Holcomb.
But by then, cell phone footage of the incident had gone viral.
This is a lot of chaos happening. For example,
Because of racking up millions of views and tens of thousands of comments. It would be a Prius. San Francisco is gayer than shit. If a nuke dropped on California, I would.
I'm a website builder.
They're fucking wild. Hold on, that's what we're getting.
Start selling
That's
online.
interesting.
With
I wouldn't have
GoDaddy.
thought.
First, pick an easy.
I wouldn't have thought he would have the first time you fucking get to, like, he said he's there for like 30 minutes. Guys,
actually be
he's
happy.
been
You get what you
against
vote for.
fentanyl.
Thanks, Biden. Thank God I live in Florida. Why is that Jew all gas, no brakes with?
Fam, they're cheesing me. Is this shit staged?
I was amused, but also puzzled. I mean, how did that video go viral so fast? And who recorded it?
The man who posted this video, Richie Wynn, is a San Francisco native.
I'm telling you, it's always wild down here, raw. The crime has gotten out of control. I felt like
This is Batman.
had empathy.
The man who recorded the video was named Richie Wynn, a former cocaine dealer who got caught with a couple 8-balls during COVID and came out of jail sober. Nowadays, he works at a nightclub and films something called the Ciroc Challenge.
Hey, Joe!
And sometimes, just sometimes, goes on Fox News.
So Richie used to deal drugs. What's your solution to all this?
Not to discuss bottle service, but rather to discuss his other videos, which basically consist of him confronting homeless people on the sidewalk.
What you smoking, man? What you guys doing out here? You shooting up right here, bro? Is that some crack, mama? You want to do that in front of the kids, man? Clean that shit up, bro. That shit's ugly, bro. My name's Richie Wynn. Basically, I'm
He's trying to clean up the streets.
kind of like a video vigilante, if you will. I'm kind of taking it into my own hands to film some of the things that I feel like are plaguing the city, mainly the drug use. Hey, bro, you know people got kids and stuff like that. You out here rolling up heroin or fentanyl? You can't be doing that right here. Have a little fucking respect, man, for people that pay rent. I don't think that you're...
This man called himself a video vigilante. This is what we get. Instead of Batman, nobody ever talk about Batman and what he was doing ever again. Because this guy's just walking up to homeless people trying to get a little high, fucking it all up, fucking their vibe up, wasting their money. What money they do have that they spend on drugs, you just wasted.
Children should have to see it because it's grotesque. A lot of it is, it's harsh to see. It is very gruesome. Some of these individuals are suffering from also mental illness and picking away at themselves. They are shooting drugs in their neck. They are
Your way of helping
obscenities that can be triggering to somebody that is frail and is still developing. I gotta stop smoking that shit in front of the kids, man. You got the kids right here, man. What the fuck you say, man? Arrest these individuals. Take them into custody. This bus stop right here.
Where does the video go? Does he ever get stabbed? That seems like that's what he's trying to do.
It's the 14 mission.
Oh, so they're getting ready for
last year, I shot a viral video. A group of school children were getting off of that bus right there. Bye, kids. Y'all get home safe, okay? and they had to wade their way through this kind of mess that you're seeing right here, which is like an open air drug market. You know,
Christ.
people using, people selling. Countless people have seen it. Numerous news outlets have used it.
For Richie, filming San Francisco's decay is a steady side hustle. Last year, Fox News spent $1.6 billion on licensing fees. Essentially, that means acquiring the rights to content, usually scary, juicy content, engineered to generate maximum outrage and piss off their core
Damn, he just told me a little bit of the game right there. I didn't even know that was a game.
more eyes to cable TV, which is a dying platform.
Yay, we get active. Democrats approve
Tucker Carlson was buying shit off
And in just this
TikTok.
year alone, Fox News has licensed over a dozen of Richie's clips. It's not clear how much they pay Richie per video, but his work has been featured in multiple primetime segments. Here's a couple examples.
When I was a kid, my biggest worry in school was forgetting my locker combo. Now these kids in San Francisco have this.
that was hard.
Homeless drug addicts, after getting off the school bus, who the heck thought this was a good idea?
Kids, when you went to school, there were places where that was a concern.
San Francisco, junkies have more rights than you do because liberalism spreads worse than a virus from a Chinese lab.
And for the politicians that argue the fact that they think San Francisco is safe right now, go down to Civic Center and pull out your camera phone, and I guarantee you will be met with some type of violence or some type of disgruntled individual.
He just knows
You
that's
don't need
where
to be
he
smoking
goes there to
drugs.
get the money.
There's children that live in this building right here.
Fuck off, bitch. It's a free country, asshole.
So maybe you should take it somewhere else.
Please don't get in off of me.
Come on, bro. Leave her alone, bro.
Take me, bro.
Who the fuck you think you talking to, punk? It's an ecosystem that has thrived off of the illegal drug trade.
Some of these videos, I feel like we didn't even really get to see the juicy part.
Lax laws for stealing and reselling stolen goods. Oh yeah, the shoplifting is wild.
Recent high-profile cases of organized retail theft have cast an ugly pall on cities like San
Yeah, I've definitely
Francisco.
seen these
You know,
videos.
I've seen the people come in, take whatever off the shelves, and just walk right out of it.
More than a dozen
Oh, my
Walgreens
God, he rode
stores
the
have
bike out.
shuttered. Target has limited its hours.
It was happening so much here at this Whole Foods that's in my building that they had to shut down. The employees didn't feel safe. The place was only open for a year. Oh, it was only open for a year, and this was their flagship store. It was a gorgeous store.
She's allowed to drugs on the street. I gotta go to work every day and walk through shit.
Oh man,
I know the dying. That's some sucker shit.
that's some sucker shit.
What's up, dog? How you doing out here, bro?
I'm living the best I can. Unfortunately, I'm living these mean streets.
Yeah.
Still alive.
They're mean as fuck. Everybody we've seen so far, it's mean. That's probably the main thing I've taken. That is actually the best point. San Francisco's mean as shit.
Been doing drugs and shit?
Absolutely. It's the life we live.
What's your drug of choice?
I'm not high on it.
Cocaine. No, fentanyl.
How long have you been doing that for?
Nice.
About a year.
What do you think, like,
He said crack cocaine, then he said something worse. He said crack cocaine. I was just playing. Just fentanyl.
made you want to first get
Just
into
pure
it?
fentanyl.
Opiate dependent. I've been dependent on opiates since I was 16. Broke my leg, broke my ankle. I've been doing Percocets, Oxycontin, Big Pharma.
That's
That's the biggest reason why a lot of people are addicted to these opiates, you know.
The Sackler family is one of the richest families in America. The source of that wealth was for many years OxyContin, the addictive painkiller considered one of the initial sparks for the nation's opioid crisis, a crisis that has already left more than 450,000 Americans dead and continues today.
I'm dependent on it, you know. Without it, I don't function as well, you know.
How'd you break your leg?
Fighting, actually. I was in a fight, yeah.
Damn it,
16,
you
17,
lost.
high school, yeah, freshman year, sophomore year. My
Got your
sister
ass
was,
whooped.
making out with some fucking roid rager, so I swung on him and
Fucked you up?
my buddy grabbed me. I don't know what happened. My ankle ended up getting snapped on the
Damn it.
stair.
Have you tried to like quit before?
Yeah, I did about two and a half years this last run and my life
Yeah,
together.
broke his leg
I
running.
ended up hurting my back in the job, working in construction over in Livermore.
Oh, yeah.
Relapsed and got evicted. Lived in my van. It became real once I lost my van. It's a trip. So my goal is to try to stay alive and stay, you know, I don't want to die before my mom, you know what I mean? That's my biggest goal. Is she
needs to die.
She shouldn't have to bury her son.
Where's your mom at now?
Wow.
North Carolina.
When's the last time you talked to her?
7 years, 7 years. It's been a while.
She might be dead.
30. I turned 38.
Does she know you're out here?
He doesn't want to fucking call her, find out she's dead, and he's like, damn, well, I guess.
No one does. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. If you see me, I'm still alive. I know I look like shit. Lost all my teeth, but that was in.
Lost
You know,
all
I
his
got
teeth.
done a fight. I got jumped. So
Honestly, bro, you don't look that bad.
thank you.
I'd hire you.
How do you get money?
Steal shit.
The boost in life, as you can see.
Oh shit.
fresh licks.
Said fresh licks, you said. We got stuff to get by. Stay warm. Got some shirts. Got my Ben & Jerry's. You know what I mean?
why you lost
How
your
do you
teeth.
typically resell the shit that you boost?
It sells itself. Everyone loves a good deal. I know it's not a good thing to do, but it is what it is. It's our life. We could be doing worse.
Because I got paid $0 for this shit. Whatever you want to pay for it.
A lot of these big companies are all fucking write-offs anyways.
Cream, how much for the ice cream? I want the ice cream.
$3 for that one.
What flavor is it? What flavor is it? Yo, I haven't tried that one. Send it. I got three right now. I'm gonna eat it right fucking now once I give him the cigarettes.
It is what it is.
We're
Either
up,
that
baby.
Or I starve tonight. It's all around shitty. It's not fun. You know what I mean? I'd rather work. This shit's hard.
He said, except the profit margins, those are amazing.
Harder than you think. You know.
Ice cream's more addicting than fentanyl. I'm not gonna lie. If fentanyl didn't make me dope sick, I would be more addicted to ice cream. I think once I'm done and sober from fentanyl,
that one.
I'm still gonna be addicted to ice cream.
San Francisco's locking up their ice cream.
Yeah, so what happened to the ice cream, bro? We had to lock the shit up because they came in here, they started
They kept stealing ice cream.
all kind of shit. They came with trash bags, and that's like every night, too.
So I say this not only to the Democrats that
That's
we have to fix this problem, but I'll say it to the Republicans as well. We're handling. We're handling.
Hey, bad bitch alert.
What's happening? My birth certificate say female and it do say San Francisco, but I'm homeless.
Oh. Can we talk to you?
Hold on. This is the bad bitch alerts that we're getting in 2023. God.
Hell yeah. So how you doing, Andrew? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so my name is Miss J. Vera Williams. The last corporate job I had was Ted Baker as a senior manager in 2022, making $2,700 every 2 weeks, and that's still not being enough to number one solidify safe housing and to live off of.
How much do you think you need a month to survive well in San Francisco?
$5,000. But I'm a person that would categorize under high priority, consider I have HIV. And I live at a SRO, so it's basically like temporary housing until they find new housing.
Due to having HIV, Miss J. Williams qualifies for San Francisco's Single Room Occupancy, or SRO program, which provides at-risk, unhoused people with access to low-cost housing, usually in 8 by 10-foot rooms, in one of the many dilapidated residential hotels in the Tenderloin neighborhood for up to 30 days.
The city calls
gotta go
single-room
get AIDS to get a
occupancy buildings, or
house.
SROs, the last housing option before homelessness.
People have to get AIDS so they don't become homeless in this city. That is fucked.
Currently, 15,000 people live in SROs in San Francisco, and their average monthly rent is $895.
I just moved there, but I was twice physically assaulted.
Oh,
4 times
shit.
Due to being trans.
What do you want, a room at the Four Seasons?
I don't want a room at the Four Seasons. I just want a room that's safe. I got bit by a pit bull last week. I just got out the hospital from literally somebody.
She's getting her ass whipped every day. This guy, she says she was assaulted. Rape. We don't like to say that word on the stream, but I'm just saying that's what she said happened to her. This guy said, "What do you want? A room at the Four Seasons?" What a wild reaction.
In the Latino dialect, get that, and their pit bull biting me on my ankle.
Please stop editing the shit.
Well, that's just because San Francisco's just gotten out of hand. Where are you from?
I'm from here.
You're from San Francisco.
Yeah, my
What neighborhood?
father's. I'm from Fillmore, Hazen Central. I pay cash money for these titties.
Oh,
hell yeah! How much?
$30,043. I like Tyra Banks or something like that. Like this is like real deal Holyfield.
What
It's
the
a
fuck?
crock of shit. You cannot open a door to nowhere. You can't open no door. Like I could have bought a house. I could be opening a door. I couldn't be on these streets right now. You can buy these titties later when you buy your house and you're gonna finish your education.
Okay. I'm glad she's saying that because I was wondering why she bought the titties and didn't get a place to
The
stay.
message to the kids: wait to buy titties after getting the master's degree.
Please, all that Botox and Rotox and Kim Kardashian, please wait. Education,
Yeah.
spirituality, and really doing the work every day. Go fund me, y'all, Miss J. Williams.
San Francisco, California, Frisco. Some people say the Paris of the West.
A gold rush boomtown that began in the late 1800s after the discovery of the Comstock lode sent millions of Americans headed west.
An explosion of migration from the ends of the earth.
For a while, shit was going pretty good. until 1906 when a horrific earthquake came and destroyed 80% of the city, taking 7,000 lives.
San Francisco is gone.
A lot of people thought Frisco was done for good, but they were totally wrong.
San Francisco was rebuilt.
By the mid-century, it became the epicenter of counterculture. First, the beatniks, then the beat poets, then the hippie movement kicked off, which brought over 100,000 self-described flower children to the Haight-Ashbury, aka Hashbury neighborhood, to do acid and hang out.
Oh yeah.
A bright idea.
I wouldn't think it.
Macintosh, the foundational tech company that led to the boom of Silicon Valley, which brought over 1,000 tech companies to the Bay Area in just 5 years.
Bay Area, Silicon Valley.
Yahoo, eBay, Dell,
Dell built a desktop just for me.
Intel, Microsoft.
I'm Bill Gates.
Facebook.
Hey, how's it going? This is our first live video.
Twitter. By 2019, San Francisco's GDP rose to $534.56 billion, making it the 8th largest economy in the entire world. Good news? Not really.
Everything that you think that it is really not what it is.
344% rent hike.
Neil has been paying $1,800 a month rent, but his landlady recently informed him she was raising the rent to $8,000 a month.
Jesus.
San Francisco is a fucked up place.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
How is it?
It's impossible to live here. The rent is rising. Minimum wage is the same. No parking. If you get a parking ticket, nigga, that's a whole check right there. Rent is high, food is high, tickets is high, minimum wage is the same. You need to work 3 jobs just to live in a 1-bedroom in Zombieland.
We can't afford to live here. I'm born and raised here and I can't even afford to live here, but I do hard work, you know, trapping.
Welcome to San Francisco.
A little bit of bipping here and there.
Hey, what the fuck is bipping?
And I make do. I make do with what I do. So you could have a job in the city, but you need other forms of income. So you need to hustle up something. You need to be doing 3 or 4 other things to survive in this city. You cannot just have one job. It's impossible unless you're like a lawyer, you work in tech, or you would trick.
Within just 10 years, rent in San Francisco nearly tripled, while the minimum wage remained the same, leading to a mass exodus of native San Franciscans.
You got San Franciscans moving to like Vegas, Texas, New York, Atlanta,
and a mass influx of what are colloquially known as tech bros. This created quite a few problems. For one, many of these tech bros had no cultural or family connection to the city. Plus, they weren't really there to stay. For example, the average residency for a Twitter or Facebook employee in San Francisco is 9 to 12 months, and many of them were bussed in and out of the city by private charter buses.
San Francisco, not for sale.
These people angry at what they see as growing income inequality in the city.
Now, before we continue, I'd like to mention that San Francisco's gentrification was not explicitly a direct result of tech. In an ideal world, big tech actually could have been good for the city, but the real culprit here is insane zoning regulations imposed by a group of lobbyists called the NIMBYs. NIMBY stands for Not in My Backyard.
NIMBYs in cities like San Francisco are essentially importing suburban expectations and land use controls into central cities.
So geographically, San Francisco is actually a pretty small area, which is not that densely populated. And many of the old school upper income neighborhoods like Nob Hill and Pacific Heights, which is home to the Pelosi family,
Drop the hammer.
are within walking distance to the commercial heart of the downtown area. So, when big tech began to arrive, bringing in hundreds of thousands of new young professionals, residents of these neighborhoods became very concerned about the potential construction of high-density apartment buildings, particularly with how this would cause noise pollution with the sounds of jackhammers and forklifts and beyond, but also how the buildings might block their view of the city or the bay. So neighbors of these wealthy areas would get together every time a high-density development was proposed and say, "Not in my backyard," and they would lobby to get their neighborhoods protected under historical preservation status.
Marking a building, corridor, or neighborhood as historic is one tool NIMBYs can use
Fucking full houses.
to embalm a neighborhood while feeling good about themselves. They're defending the cultural and historic character of the place.
While this did serve to preserve traditional San Francisco aesthetics, it also basically froze urban development during the city's largest economic boom in history, causing home values to skyrocket and rent to rise far beyond what the median monthly income was. As a result,
San Francisco experienced the most intense gentrification in American history. Black population shrunk from 14.5% to 6% of the city, and the poverty line rose so high that households making under $117,000 per year are considered to be low income.
If you're a San Francisco city girl like me, born and raised, It's too crowded here now. It's too much.
Very quickly, the creative class was replaced by the professional class, leaving vast subsections of the city utterly swagless. Still, California politicians didn't care. They wanted exponential growth, and for a while, it was happening. Then, in early 2020, a very hungry man allegedly ate a pangolin at a wet market in Wuhan, China, which ultimately prompted these tech companies to vacate all of their San Francisco offices in favor of a work-from-home model. At some point, these mega corporations like Twitter and Facebook figured out you can make just as much money, if not more money, having employees work from home. Not to mention, according to a recent study, employee happiness has increased by over 20% since remote work began as the industry standard for tech.
We're more productive at home, we're happier at home, we're doing what the company asks of us.
They were happier, healthier, and they realized something.
You know, you couldn't move anywhere and keep your Bay Area money. You know, you couldn't move anywhere and keep your Bay Area money.
Now working from home, hundreds of thousands of new San Francisco transplants had to make a choice. Should we stay in this extremely expensive, unwelcoming city full of homeless people and locals who don't like us and see us as walking emblems of oppression and displacement? Or keep the exact same job and move to somewhere like Coddled, Idaho, where you can afford a gorgeous mountain home for the same price as a studio apartment in the Castro district? Most Californians in this position picked option 2 and got the hell out of town. So even after California reopened in early 2021,
you want the economy to reopen permanently.
These tech workers and the companies who employ them were like, man, fuck that, we're not going back to San Francisco. And some of these companies realized that emerging AI technology would allow them to cut their workforce in half.
150,000 tech workers have been laid off in 2022 alone.
We regret to inform you your position has been impacted.
I called my boss back and we just sobbed over the phone.
It's a Twitter bloodbath. Nearly 4,000 fired in one fell swoop. Half the global workforce. Twitter is not alone. Mass layoffs are happening across the tech world.
I take full responsibility for this decision.
The economy of San Francisco was collapsing in real time. Not to mention, homelessness nearly doubled during COVID. And politics aside, crime was on the rise.
As the city of San Francisco deals with the shocking, high-profile murder of tech executive Bob Lee, a greater question emerges. Who wants to live here anymore?
Yeah, out of pocket. I knock a nigga out his socket. I don't give a fuck if you won't get out of pocket. I'm not the one the motherfucker fuck with. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Yeah, I'll pull up with the switch. I'm on Cedar Block on the TL, so nigga, what you mean?
For this combination of reasons, over half of San Francisco's recently built...
They're moving out because of that guy? He has something to do with why they're moving out? Rapping on the street? Yeah, this is all... I mean, the thing that I'm mostly surprised I hadn't thought about is the idea that the tech people are getting paid those wages and then removing those jobs from California. I honestly, I hadn't thought of that. So I'm like, damn, okay. Those opportunities, they're taken away from the locals in a way. You know what I mean? Like those really high paying jobs. I don't.
Luxury apartment buildings and giant office
and then obviously the
completely
layoff
vacant right now. They're actually for sale.
It is becoming the next Detroit almost.
General Motors, Ford and Chrysler. It was a golden era of full employment.
That's an interesting comparison.
America.
As they grew and they became multinational companies.
Detroit lost 200,000 inhabitants between 1950 and 1960.
You know, to where these tech industries have pulled out, just like the car industries pulled out of there, and we're starting to be left with like a shell of our great city. And now it's debilitated and shut down into something that is never going to be able to get rented out again. All those tents out there, they're able-bodied individuals. They're being told that they shouldn't be working and they can collect general assistance and they can stay home and play on their phone. It's ridiculous. You know, we need to start encouraging people to get back out to the workforce. We need to start making, you know, that like a requirement. And these individuals that are coming here from Salt Lake City, Boise, Idaho, all these other places that San Francisco are putting a strain on our services. If they're gonna come here to San Francisco, you need to be working. You can't just come here and just mooch off the taxpayers. You know, that is ridiculous. So
there's ads online for
people that come from other parts of the country to come here and get shelter.
Where are you from, sir?
Money. I'm from Montana.
He's from Montana. See?
Yeah, but I didn't come here for that. I live here and I work and I got a job and I got a girlfriend and we do drugs, but we're not robbing cars or fucking sucking off the city, you know, or shitting on the sidewalk.
See,
All
there you
right,
go.
brother.
There
Pause
you
on
have it.
that.
Montana, we're taking in your drug addicts as well. All this
Yeah, and they're not even sucking no dick.
strain is getting put on my city, and that's why I'm a San Francisco nationalist.
Crazy.
I
Francisco
really want
nationalist.
what's good for San Francisco.
You know, you have companies that are
San
used to have
Francisco
4
National.
buildings in San Francisco that now have 1 floor. And so all the infrastructure that's been built for this high pay is now sort of collapsing, you know? And then to say that the reason that San Francisco isn't doing well is because of poor people living on the street who use drugs. It's not real. It's a red herring. You know, we just did a street assessment here in the Mission, and 73% of the people that we spoke to were previously employed and housed, okay? Where were they working? They're working in janitorial jobs, in those office buildings. All of those businesses have changed their modality, especially those, you talk about downtown being closed. Well, downtown used to employ hundreds, thousands of people who are working in low-level, entry-level jobs, you know, as janitors, as, you know, all the things that supported that business. Well, there's no one in those buildings.
Much like the gold tycoons who pillaged the West for its resources centuries ago, only to leave behind ghost towns that mark the Wild West, Big Tech has essentially used San Francisco as a playground for over 2 decades, and now has left behind an overpriced shell of a once great American metropolis. Anyways, the story of corporate greed is typically left out of the San Francisco conversation.
All you seem to hear about on TV is that San Francisco is an apocalyptic third world wasteland.
Brazen crime taking a huge toll on
You
America's
hear
most
that?
progressive city.
Full of fentanyl, petty crime, graffiti, and so forth.
You hear that, and we've seen that on this covering. So I mean,
People
you
are
know,
being shot,
also still
stabbed,
true.
beaten, brutalized, and they fornicate and they defecate and they do everything.
Is this true or is this cap? Let's go find out.
We already
So my name
see
is
it's
Tracy
true,
McCray.
man.
I'm currently the president of San Francisco Police Officers Association.
The first person he met was a guy who taught us that fentanyl is fetty. I didn't even know that this whole time.
I've been a cop. It's going to be almost 34 years.
Is crime on the rise?
Right around the time.
Certain types of crime are on the rise. So robberies, right? They
It's
are
fucking
up
bad
about
shit.
12 to 15%. I mean, don't walk around with your cell phone out because it's finna get snatched. So Prop 47 lowered the threshold for certain crimes like petty theft, right?
Prop 47, it reduces certain drug and theft crimes from felony charges to misdemeanors.
Before, if you stole anything over $400, that would be a felony charge. Well, Prop 47, so now you can steal up to $949.99 and you just get a ticket if you're caught. It's a citation, so it's akin to you running a stop sign, I pull you over and I give you a traffic citation. And you're either one of 2 people, you're like, oh shit, I got a ticket, or you're like, I don't give a shit. Back in November of
You should just keep stealing shit, then you can pay off that ticket. This is a business plan.
what was that, 2022, people just ransacked into the Louis Vuitton and just made off. That made national news.
Stunning video. This is going viral.
My thing though, like just seeing what people are grabbing there. I don't know. It's interesting because she's speaking on the specifics of the law. So the threshold, as far as like from 400 and in making that more to whatever she said, like 900 and whatever. It's like a lot of these people look like if you actually fucking police them and why ever that wasn't happening. If you caught them, I mean, look, you take 2 things from the Louis Vuitton store. You could take 1 thing from the Louis Vuitton store. That would be
In San Francisco, brazen thieves emptied out the Louis Vuitton store in Union Square.
So not a good look for the city because we would
You
love
have
for
about
people to come here
$3,000
and
worth
visit
of shit
and
in
spend their
advance.
money because tourism has always been our bread and butter.
Welcome to the most
People
beautiful
look like
city
shit.
in the world. San Francisco, I don't mean Frisco. San Francisco, here I go.
But unfortunately, this past
is-
week, they
this
hit
is like
Burberry,
free.
they hit Fendi, they hit Gucci.
Lieutenant McCray was making one thing clear. There was a massive organized retail boosting squad that was currently active in the immediate vicinity of Union Square. So I walked around Union Square and tried to find someone who might know something.
This guy's doing more detective work than anybody else.
Within 15 minutes, I identified
everybody.
the culprits. The Finesse Mall Gang, a graffiti and shoplifting crew known for spray painting public buses and stealing shit from Union Square.
Anybody could go to a store, grab some shit, and run out. It's about technique. It's how you do it. I mean, it's a lot going on though. You got the drug sales. You got motherfuckers getting shot.
Yeah, man.
Car burglaries. You know, you name it. That's what's going on. That's how we get it, man. That's all we know. Getting it out the mud, getting out these dirty streets. Tenderloin, but we all lie.
But what are you? I'm just wondering what you're achieving right now. We're talking about getting it out of the streets and all that shit. You're just like fucking up a city bus.
Locked in over here, man. We got face car valid.
I can't even read what you're saying. All right.
How'd that make you
Spurs.
Man, I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah, you got the hit.
Cover the face on this one, right? Yeah. Okay, sick. Is that a good like adrenaline boost?
Yeah, absolutely. My heart pumps. Hey, look, let's go over here with it. You got the cops right there. You feel me?
Yeah, we did something bad.
Hi, Channel 5. How do you guys make your money and support yourself out here?
Hey, look, before all these niggas was doing this run out the store shit, we was walking out the store. We was having them say,
shit.
y'all have a good day. Finesse them all. That's what it is, man.
Yeah,
It's
that was his
FBA
move.
shit,
If you were to guess, how much merchandise do you think you've been able to boost numerically in the past couple years?
Oh, God, everything, bro.
Probably like a 100 ball, maybe a little more than a 100 ball. You know what I'm saying? A little more than a 100 ball.
100,000.
Yeah, 100,000.
Hey, look, there's not a shopping unit
Bro, many felonies. Guys, just arrest them. Many felonies.
in
Holy
Square
shit.
that we haven't hit for at least 10 bands. All them designer stores, Montclair, Louis, Gucci, Sunglasses Hut.
Damn it. Oh my God.
We was smacking them, bro.
I used to go to the Apple store and take the motherfucking display phones, bro. It's called Gorilla Boosting, bro. Go in there and come out, bro. Bare face and everything, no mask. You feel me? I'm in there, I'm getting out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, honestly, I done splashed during the daytime. You feel me? I ain't even
Splashed?
I done splashed over there on Lombard. Tourists over here talking about, oh my God, if y'all don't knock it off, you know what I'm saying? This is regular out here.
Can you tell me a crazy boosting story?
Oh, I'm talking about is Splash. Is that breaking somebody's back window? Is that what we just saw? You just pull up somebody, break their back window, and say, fuck you. These guys are nihilists.
Crazy boost. Oh my God.
Yeah, these are true nihilists, man.
Which time? Shit. Was going to Twin Peaks, and
Hell yeah.
somebody parked up on the side, trying to, you know what I'm saying, take some pictures and shit like that.
Okay.
Well, we end up splashing they shit.
Oh my God, I'm gone. Stay in here. Get down. Call Ashley. Stay down.
The next day, motherfuckers on the news.
Team of gunmen rob a film crew in front of terrified witnesses.
And see one of the robbery suspects pistol whips one of the victims. Tripod legs are hanging outside of the rear passenger window and as they drive away.
You feel me? But can't speak too much on that because, you know what I'm saying?
Tell them the Gucci story.
Okay, so one time we went to the
Oh,
Gucci store.
wow.
RP, my nigga Fury, man. FBA, man. We went to Union Square,
Fury, man.
Search continues this morning for the gunman
Holy
who robbed another high-end designer store in San Francisco's Union Square.
So I stole two thousand.
Oh, they're coming. Channel 5, they're coming for this. I want you to know they're coming for this footage raw. Okay, they know you have the footage raw. They're coming for this footage raw. You got two fucking serial killers that you're interviewing. I don't even know what.
Purses. He stole a tracksuit, alarms, and everything. My nigga Fury stole a couple things too, and he got alarms all through the Gucci tracksuit walking in.
Beeping, bro.
Bam, 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 and we're just everywhere we walk, bro, in the store beeping. The motherfuckers knew we was up to no good. By the time they come up, like, sir, you need any help? Nah, I just need help to show me where the exit's at now. I'm about done here. We walked out with like $10,000-$15,000 worth of shit, bro.
Are you guys worried about consequences like from the police out here?
What? San Francisco doesn't believe in crime. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shout out the DA though. Oh, shout out London Breed too. Shout out London Breed.
And once the arrests are made, we are hopeful that our DA will prosecute.
I did time in San Francisco, but never like stayed more than like a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
We've been doing consequences since juvenile hall. Graduated to prison.
Most definitely.
Still out here, same shit, same environment.
I think they don't give a fuck.
Do you think that's changing the way that like businesses decide to move their shit here?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're all closing down on Market.
Since the start of the year, the city has seen the exit of
Yeah.
more than a dozen national retailers from the
You gotta
downtown
get it in
area.
while you still can, I
You guys
guess.
feel bad about that? Or?
Absolutely not.
Like,
Welcome to the
fuck, man,
Bay.
you gotta
Straight
steal
up.
as much as
Welcome to the
possible.
Bay, bro.
Welcome to the city. You know what I'm saying?
And I hope when you executives come over here to finalize the paperwork to sign to close the store, your shit gets splashed, my nigga. Welcome to
Oh
the
my
Bay
God.
Area, bro. It's just what we do. We do it all. Splash shit, line them up, stain gang. We do all that, bro. Trap.
Bip City.
Everything, bro. Out the bitch, you name it, we doing
Off
it.
the bitch.
Working with our Hondos, you know, this this baby Honduras right here, man. You feel me?
Shocking discovery in California's drug trade. Hundreds of San Francisco's dealers are coming to our state from
Baby
just one
Honduras?
place, the
What the
small
fuck?
town of Syria Valley. It's in
Okay.
the middle of Honduras. You can see in these pictures that many homes in the Syria Valley are built with images of familiar Bay Area icons.
Go Niners, huh?
I work at La Cocina up the street. It's about 30, 40 Hondos out in front of that motherfucker every day, selling dope. Hey.
What the fuck? What you want, bruh? Don't be recording all of that up in my face, bruh. Get that shit up on,
Hey.
bro. Don't fuck
So
around
that's
like that, bruh.
The Hondos are Hondurans, and they're posted on every block. Police roll right past. They don't get out. They don't roll their window down. They don't say shit. They just look at them. Keep going.
What's going on with the Honduran gangs here?
As far as I know
Hondos.
it, you get a lot of like young people that are trying to cross into the country, and so they get sponsored. You get a lot of Mexican cartels that are offering basically protection to these young people, and then once you're here, you're working for them.
What are you guys doing? Was that not the follow-up question? Hey, buddy, he's like, as far as I know, as if he's never even talking to somebody.
This is a very important part of the story. I had a chance to speak with a couple Hondos, but I did so off camera. Putting them on camera could put them and their families at serious risk. Here's how it works, and here's why they're in San Francisco. Let's start with the history of fentanyl. Fentanyl is produced by China, or in China, depending on how you look at it. They sell most of their product legally to American pharmaceutical companies, like Johnson & Johnson, who owns the patent to fentanyl patches, fentanyl candy, and fentanyl liquid IV drip.
Fentanyl is used in operating rooms and to control pain after surgery.
Much like Nike, Apple, and other American corporations looking to save money by outsourcing production to countries with lax labor regulations, American pharmaceutical companies literally procured trillion-dollar contracts with Chinese medicine manufacturers to produce cheap generics of many of our favorite drugs today. Percocet, Oxycontin, Xanax, promethazine and codeine, aka dirty Sprite. And last but not least, the man of the hour, fentanyl. There's not really any music about fentanyl yet.
Fentanyl is going to bind to your opioid receptors in your central nervous system.
Well, at some point, these Chinese manufacturers realized there was more eager clients besides Johnson & Johnson. And the coolest thing about these new clients, they don't even need you to actually make the fentanyl. All they need is the analog precursors, sodium borohydride and chloride. They bake it down, bag it up, and smuggle it into the US. These companies were the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel, $2 billion Mexican drug empires competing for control of smuggling routes into the United States. And so it began.
Drug overdoses are killing more Americans now than at any time in history.
100,000 people died. At 22 years old, Sawyer Post made a mistake. He tried Percocet, a prescription painkiller.
The Percocet itself was laced with fentanyl. Unfortunately, my son.
Krista says she believes this was Trinity's first time trying drugs.
9-year-old died from a fentanyl overdose.
Every day, 200 Americans die from a fentanyl overdose. Since 2018, which is around when these American-funded Chinese manufacturers began working with the cartels in Mexico, that number is now over 260,000 people.
Mexico,
in
we're
San
supposed to be
Francisco,
friends, man.
about
Chill.
2 people die from an overdose every day. Here is some incredibly sad footage of a husband handing over his wife's body to the San Francisco medical examiners.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You guys ever use Advocare? Just think about what we're about to see. Just think about the gruesome reality attached to this brand.
It's the Hostinger Cyber Week sale.
Hostinger. Whenever you think about Hostinger, just remember this man and his wife. That's why you don't want to use it. Oh, holy shit. Well, let's go. Sit in politics. Subscribe. Okay, well, good. We won't have to actually watch him. I thought he made it sound like he's literally handing him over. Oh man, Jesus.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh.
Here, man, thank you. I can't take it anymore. You didn't even know Vicky, did you?
No.
Now, what you have to understand is
Damn.
that from a distribution standpoint, the current fentanyl crisis is much different than America's last significant drug crisis, which was the crack cocaine epidemic in the 1980s. Back then, cartels and possibly the CIA sold directly to American gangs to distribute in places like Los Angeles, Miami, and New York City. However, over time, the cartels realized that it was much more profitable to import their own dealers into the United States from impoverished third world nations. This is what's going on with the Hondurans. The cartel scouts in the
Taking
slums
American
of Central
jobs.
America
What the fuck
and
is that?
finds working-age males in poverty. They promise them free, safe passage up north into the United States. Now, we at Channel 5 may or may not have recently gone to Latin America to follow in the footsteps of one of these Honduran migrants. But I will tell you this. Shortly after being smuggled across the U.S. border, many of these Hondurans are driven straight to San Francisco, given a package of fentanyl, given a street corner, and told they must sell it to pay off their coyotes. Anyways, more from the FEA gang.
Just catch it real quick.
Bro, you couldn't show us you went on an immigrant's journey and we're not going to see that? That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, and that's interesting that they found, like, I guess, fuck it, yeah, put your own person in the city, say, hey, you're going up to San Francisco, you're going to sell fentanyl to fucking people that work at Microsoft.
Tag right here.
You guys going to the
show? Have fun. I will.
As I stood on Market Street with FEA, a group of middle schoolers from Oakland approached us with backpacks full of candy for sale.
You take cash out, little brother? Yeah, for sure. I'm watching You want some candy?
At first, I wasn't sure what was going on, but my new friend broke it down.
Yeah, so behind us right here, man, you know what I'm saying? We got these kids, I say about 12 to 15, 16. You heard one of them, he say from Oakland, so they hop on board, come out here. This is money zone. Like I said, I ain't from out here either.
Everybody comes out here from other cities. Rarely will you find someone from the city that's actually out here hustling. Basically what they did, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak too deep on it, but come here with some backpacks, go to a store, fill it up with candy, walk down Market, and the tourists, 9 times out of 10, they gonna buy it.
They think, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, okay, look at these kids. They got their little hustle going on here. We respect it. They could be out here stripping shit, this and that, so we're gonna support it.
You know what I'm saying? Little do they know, but then,
they stole it.
You know, you graduate. Now you figure out about dipping. Now you figure about house licks. Now you figure about playing with guns. Now you start, you know what I'm saying? You expand your horizon. You feel me? Bro, it ends up how me and my nigga Dre's ended up, bro. You start going to juvenile hall, and then you go to county jail, and then you go to prison.
Yeah, it looks like y'all are not in prison right now. And the city doesn't seem better for that. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put it past. I thought it was all bullshit. They're coming up, hey, we're selling candy, and they're about to drop big ass bags of fentanyl into their bags. I thought that's what the Hundies did. I don't know. I'm confused.
So he's supporting the young niggas because we used to do some shit like that too.
The escalation of crime is pretty interesting.
Oh, it is. You know, they start looking up to the wrong kind of things too. Like they look up to my nigga right here. You feel me? Bape outfit, you know, off-white belts, Jordans. That's the ultimate goal is I want to be out here saucy. You know what I'm saying? There's no talking to the young generation either. They don't want to hear it because I didn't want to hear it.
Is it possible to like stop people from going down this road?
Not really, because if you want it, you're gonna get it. Yeah. I was the same way. You know, I was going to juvenile hall, motherfuckers was trying to preach this and preach that, and
what you gonna do when you're making no money and you dropping out of high school? Got a baby on the way with your lady. She don't understand you a little crazy. You can't even stop. You're stealing from your parents and running from the cops. Yeah, let me keep it real. Take a moment, look back. Every kid's got a dream that it wasn't be a drug addict. If you want to be high, be a hope dealer.
I don't want to hear it.
Damn, that was tough, actually. That sounded like he was channeling Pac.
None of it, you feel me? I don't want to hear what you guys change your life and this and that and what it leads to. Like, I ain't tripping, bro.
What are your aspirations for your life beyond this?
Me? Shit, I'm trying to get it together now, man. I've spent way too many years fucking up, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting close to 30 now, bro, and it's just trying to get into a union or something like that. That's the plan right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the process of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of behind the scenes with this shit. You feel me? This is just.
Damn, you guys bought hella candy. What the fuck? You see how much candy they got?
It's not even about the candy, man. It's just the support.
Support them.
You know what I mean? You gotta support. Shit, I'm about to head back to San. But my nigga's gonna be out here. Pleasure meeting you, bro.
My new friends from FEA said they had to go back to San,
but I wanted to keep checking out the streets of the Tenderloin. So
Wow.
they linked me up with their friend named Antoine, who is a couple blocks away.
Hey, what's up with my loved one? I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I done seen everything in San Francisco. The only thing I ain't never seen, a bitch that I need and a turtle with speed, nigga. On everything I love, nigga.
Oh, shit.
Bitch shit is going bananas, nigga. Look, when I say bananas,
can't
bananas,
eat
nigga. On
40.
everything, nigga. I swear to God, I quit my. We ain't gonna get into all that, but just know if your cousin show up into your house at 3 in the morning with a duffel bag and he happy, he did his thug thizzle that evening. You feel me? And it's a little petty crime, little slap on the wrist. You feel me? I'm talking about you go sit up in county about 3-4 days, depending on what kind of prize you got. And they gonna let you write about that motherfucker. Motherfuckers get right back up in that motherfucker.
They're stealing shit again.
Sparkies on the leash, top, and pull that motherfucker right back. Spark plugs to break a window quicker than a bip on my mama.
So can you tell us where we're at and what's going on?
And we is on 8th and Market, the notorious
Learning
8th
crimes,
and
learning
Market. You
crimes.
find everything down here on 8th and Market, from hygiene bottles to fentanyl to bikes to wheelchairs.
You don't need to go there to find fentanyl. We already found
You want a
fentanyl.
wheelchair, you come down here and get a wheelchair.
We haven't seen wheelchairs yet, though, so
Apple
it's good to
juice
know.
or canned goods, you get it for the low. You ain't gotta go to Food
Okay.
Court Safeway. Come right here.
Jacob Shibashevsky, who owns Fermentation Lab on Market Street, says crime in the mid-market
stealing my
area
goddamn
has
apple.
worsened post-pandemic.
I wish there was more that could be done.
So it's cool with me because I've been in San Francisco all my life. But for people that just moving out here, it's really hurting them because they're not used to this. So it's like the people that's gentrifying and coming
Was
into
it
our
always
neighborhood
like
and these
this,
new
man? Like-
tech company buildings and stuff are the ones that's complaining.
That's
If you don't
contrary
like
to
it,
what
go
they've
back
been saying.
home. I'm okay with that. Shit, I'm tired of San Francisco being packed. Go ahead, close this motherfucker down. Let us get back to who we was before.
Be clear on that.
The people that's been here, we okay with this. This has been going on before our time. This has been going on for years and decades. It's just visible now because they don't have nowhere to put them. Because if you look at documentaries from
Put
the
it on
1980s in San Francisco, they've been doing this. This been going on.
The rush is what got me.
I'm not gonna say we cool with it, but we understand it. We see how it goes. We okay with that.
This guy's doing a nitrous balloon. You think he's here for the Grateful Dead show, or you think he's a homeless guy? You here for the Grateful Dead show, or you living on the streets?
All gas, no break.
Hell yeah.
No break. There you go.
I think at this point, it's important to note that this entire documentary was
Gonna get
pretty
the
much
answer to that.
filmed in a 6-block radius that composes one particular neighborhood in the city. This neighborhood is called the Tenderloin. Since the 1890s, it's been nicknamed the Tenderloin because it was suggested that police who patrolled the area receive additional hazard pay bonuses, also supplement their income with bribes from local brothels, gambling halls, speakeasies, and so forth, and ultimately receive such a good payout they could afford tenderloin steaks for dinner every night. The point I'm making is that for over 100 years, cops in Frisco have turned a blind eye to crime in the Tenderloin. Much like the
That's
downtown
awesome
east
right there.
side in Vancouver, BC, Canada, or
That's
the Kensington
downtown.
area of North Philadelphia, they consider it to be a containment policy. If they allow certain things like open-air drug markets to occur in a specific contained zone, then crime is unlikely to occur in more affluent nearby neighborhoods. The same is true in San Francisco. Just a stone's throw away from the Tenderloin are very affluent neighborhoods like Nob Hill, Pacific Heights, and North Beach. These neighborhoods have a high police presence and low crime rates.
Anyways,
historical
that's a
buildings
story for
like they were
another day.
talking about
I
earlier.
wanted to check out some of the open-air drug markets that were allegedly in the Tenderloin. Antoine agreed to show me the biggest one, but he was a bit nervous about filming.
So what is this block up here that we're about to walk to?
This the block. This the block. If you gonna see, but that's the block. You feel me? But it's just a popular block where things happen. Things happen. For downtown, you know, like we finna go check in with them. You know, I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. I passed through, but I don't know enough, you know, to be right here. But I'm gonna let them go. You feel me? And do how they do when they do it.
So what's this block called again?
The Woo Block. WOO Block. I'm not from here. I don't hang out down here, but I know about it because I'm a San Franciscan. And just know, this block get a little crazy at times depending on what's going on, you feel me? It's a go-to block, one-stop shop. If you want to get something, they gonna have something. Everything. That's why I said I'm gonna let the Hawk twins let you know.
What's going on, y'all, man? Y'all made it to the city, man.
That's
What's
good.
pretty at We on the Woo Block, man. We is trapping over here, man. Selling weed, slapping booties, and making movies, man.
I can never switch, I can never snitch. I could never fuck with niggas acting like a bitch. I could never fold, could never be a hoe. I ain't never been a trick, I forever get the dough. I could never switch, I could never snitch. I could never fuck with niggas acting like a bitch. I could never fold, could never be a hoe. I ain't never been a trick, I forever get the dough.
Till I get $1 million deal, I'm still gonna sell dope on this hill, man.
How would you guys describe the current state of San Francisco?
I mean, shit. I mean, it's a bunch of shit going on, but this shit ain't nothing new. You know, everything that's going on right now been going on. It's just more so like they making it easier for motherfuckers. You know, they giving out needles, they giving out shit. You know, like
It's part of San Francisco's
What
public
on
health
earth?
strategy called harm reduction, taking steps to reduce the
Kill
negative
them.
consequences of using drugs.
Aluminum foil. This is a lot of it.
What is it used for?
This is used so they can put their fentanyl on here, and then they burn it and they smoke it through a straw.
shit, they just passed the law. They don't take you to jail for stealing no more. You get cited and released. They damn near making it easy. You know what I mean? Like. So that's why everyone off dope come to the city. It's easy to be on dope. The police don't give a fuck because they ain't gonna take no dope fiend to jail because they ain't gonna make no money off of it. They'd rather take me and Tyler to jail because they know we gonna bail out. They gonna make some money off of us.
Wow. This is the shit. This is what happened.
They
to
don't
this
take crackheads to
documentary.
jail because it's no money in it. They don't have no money. They're not gonna pay no fines. My son go to school right here. I take my son to school and he looking at the niggas, the dude smoking dope right here. You know what I mean? So if you live here, it is kind of a problem because your kids are raised up watching people smoking dope on the side of the street, and that ain't cool. It is not good, you know. So I feel like they should give them a certain area where they can smoke dope at. It's a disease. Motherfuckers off heroin and shit. If they stop doing heroin, they will die. So it's more so like instead of killing them, we're gonna give them some clean needles, or they gonna catch AIDS, you know, and be out here, you know. Just standing right here, they just drove past 4-5 deep. They should be up there, but
Yeah.
they down here. The
Why is
police,
that?
They'd rather pull up on me talking about we the real twins. There was some twin police. They pulled up on us like we the real twins.
Take y'all real twin ass up the street and go do some work.
Channel 5 Live Worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
To be honest, it looks like they really did need to be down there.
Channel 5 News.
Channel 55.
They're not really policing that area like at all. These guys care about the community so much. Yeah, killing me right now.
If you enjoyed this documentary, I have great news. You only saw a small portion of what we're allowed to post on YouTube. The complete documentary includes an actual tour of a safe injection site and harm reduction facility, as well as conversations with experts in the field.
Can't show that on YouTube.
We
Why?
also shadow a professional bipper and fentanyl dealer throughout his complete resale process, from breaking into cars in the Twitter headquarters to selling stolen goods at a secondhand illegal market in the Mission District. Beyond that, we also shadow a pimp.
Oh man, I'll break bitches, man.
Throughout his day at work. If you'd like to see all of this content, go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/channel5. As you know, Channel 5 is...
All right. So, yeah. Well, woo. So basically, if you want to see the fucking crimes happen, go follow him. That's nuts to me. We just like, this is the future. We have people follow us while we're documenting crimes. That's very interesting. Like, he said from start to finish. Yeah, what is this? Port Charlotte Mall. Yeah, there were some boys out there that look pretty familiar. Few of those guys I feel like I might have seen once or twice. Full House Kids went wild. Yeah, the San Francisco. I mean, I'm willing to admit it looked like a fucked up place to be. And growing up, that was always somewhere that was very expensive to live because of what they were talking about. It's interesting to learn about how the historical districts came to be and how they affected the development of the land. So growing up, that's something that I had always heard, just as San Francisco being one of the most expensive places in the United States. And a lot of the reason was because of, the historical houses that they had there and things like that. I didn't realize, I never put it together that was in response to people trying to build like high rises and things like that could house more people, so they have less of that than an average city of its size. These guys care about the community. Yeah, those guys for sure, community activists. You can really tell that they have their heart and soul in the community for sure. When they wake up, they're thinking about how they can impact the community. I'm sure of that. Let's see. So I think that's all that we got here tonight, guys. I appreciate you. We were vibing hard. Keep an eye out for more content. Definitely will be going live. I believe I'll be going live on Saturday. Tomorrow I'll be going live with the video game Walking Dead. Tap in for that content every single day, all the time. I got to get used to not looking at the camera anymore here and looking up here. A lot of the times I was watching stuff here, but usually the camera's down here and I'm talking to y'all, but now I'm talking to y'all right here. So I was testing this out a little bit tonight. Let me know how it was. This is the first time we did this kind of camera shot, so I'm really curious how it went. I'm going to check it out. Make sure you show some love. Like I said, subscribe. Go check out Gates Open Media. I told you guys on the other video that he's dealing with some things. That's why he's not been going live. But go check him out. Show him some love. Support him through this time. Great guy, makes great content. I think you'll really be happy if you go check out his content. He talks about sports, and it's just funny, dude. Sit in Politic. Go find me everywhere. Sit in Politic. Instagram. Chop it up on Instagram for sure. Twitter, I'm on there going crazy on these FSU fans. If you wanted to see more of that, me just shitting on the criminals and the fucking complete tone deaf program that is FSU. Native Americans, if you need me to stand behind you, you know what I mean, and support you, I'm here for you. And I think it's something that we need to fix, guys. Seriously. Love you, Gates, 100%. Gates is the man, and can't wait to have him back on here chopping it up. I will have some guests on here soon because I wanted to test out this camera angle and see if this was official. So I'm going to watch this afterwards, and I'll lock that in. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love y'all for supporting for real. We're going to keep this thing going every single day. Make sure you show some love. Subscribe. We're out.